on the gap. Okay, leaving mile 32, destination Connellsville, about 89. Almost 60 miles today. Yeah, it's that darn saddle. It's creak, creak, creak. I left my wrench home that adjusts the saddle and stretches it. So maybe a bike shop up here at Confluence. Forgot to check in at Cumberland. It's just noisy, that's all. So the grade from Meyersdale to Connellsville, that should be pretty much all downhill. Maybe an occasional up and down. So I'm thinking I can get there on 2 batteries for sure. I have to really conserve the energy, I believe. So I'm assist 1, and that's very doable with this slight downgrade. Coming up in the Cumberland, I really ate up a battery in assist 3 and 4, and then down to 2 just to conserve my last couple miles. But that was 14 miles out of Cumberland yesterday. So, and then I made it the rest of the way on about half a battery just because it leveled out. So even just a 2% climb will drain the battery pretty quick. I don't have a time window that I need to be in Connellsville. I'm going to see if I can use one of the shelters there at above Martin's. And then I'm going to attempt to get on the Amtrak tomorrow. I have a ticket in my bike roll-on add-on, but I just don't know. I've never rode the Amtrak before, especially with a full gear load setup and with this bike. So we'll see. Shoot, they might reject me and I'll have to ride back. Time will tell. This time tomorrow morning I'll know. Yeah, I love the Cumberland to Pittsburgh direction. It's a little climb going up 22, 23 miles, but then you got all this going back downhill for the most part. And I'm coasting for a long ways, 10.5 miles an hour, just coasting, pedaling just now and then. Certainly no problem for a regular bike, obviously. And on an e-bike, lowest assist on this bike is like 8% motor, so it's hard to use the motor at all. I'm comparing this to the towpath, and I'd be pedal, 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 wait about 5 seconds, and then repeat. And that'd be kind of the duration of the towpath for the most part. And if you're going west, you got the locks to climb, about 8 to 10 feet height. About 74 of them. But this is the Gap, Great Allegheny Passage, if you've never seen it before. And I'm heading out of Meyersdale. My next town will be Rockwood at mile 44. So that's about 12 miles from Meyersdale, but probably about 10 more miles from me. Then I'll see what I'll do when I get there. Up ahead is the Salisbury Aqueduct Bridge. Is it Salisbury or Salisbury? Put a note in the comments if you know for sure. Always a view. What's that, Route 219 down there? And is that the Myers farm over there? I know they have a private graveyard up here on the right. I always pay my respects silently as I pass through. But wow, this is awesome. I don't get over here enough. The towpath is closer to me, so I ride that a whole lot more. But and I love this. If you know how long this is, put a note in the comments if you watch my YouTube. I looked it up a couple times, but I forgot. I have several of the other details already imprinted in my mind, but I don't remember the length of this one. It's long. This e-bike does not have a throttle. I was at the conclusion that I really don't need a throttle, but I do now see a throttle will come in handy. So my next e-bike will have a throttle, not for primary use, but to give my feet and ankles a rest. I have issues with my joints. Arthritis real bad, and I forgot my cream, so it's magnified on this trip, but once I rest a while it helps. That's some rich looking dirt back there. I'm just going a moderate 10 miles per hour, fluctuating a mile or two, lightly coasting, lightly pedaling occasionally. Garrett to the right. We like underpasses and tunnels. Around mile 36, just past the Garrett trailhead. Okay, we got to go back and pass. Can't pass up a waterfall. I'm not sure, but I think that's wild parsley that you don't want to touch. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I've been trying to capture a glimpse of the river. Haven't had a clear glimpse view of it, but it looks like it's down considerably from one other time I was up here. Can you see the river through the trees? .41. Looks like the visitor center is closed today. It's Wednesday. Oh, I see the trail's closed too. I'm at Markleton now, area. Bill's car transport service was shuttling today. And when I made my Amtrak arrangement at Connellsville, I actually forgot about this part between Rockwood and Markleton being closed. So, but I paid my 20 bucks, and Alex at Bill's car service, one of the owners, go ahead and shuttled me over. But it also gave me a chance to look at the road too. Actually, on the shuttle service between Rockwood and Markleton, or vice versa, there's a team of several companies that are doing the shuttle, $20 per trip per individual, and it's well worth it. The road, the 6-mile road around, is pretty hilly. It's windy, some very windy and sharp at the Markleton end, but definitely pay your 20 bucks and take one of the shuttles. If you go to the Gap page and search on the word shuttle, you should have the phone numbers come up, but there's always somebody there within about a half hour. I ended up calling Bill's and lucked out that was him working it today, so he shuttled me. He was there within about 10 minutes or less, but it's well worth it. This is past the mile 51 Markleton area. I have a better view of the river. Got a few raindrops coming down, so let's see what that amounts to. I couldn't get any service to check what weather systems are moving through. Up ahead's the Pinkerton Tunnel. On the left, the 1.5-mile bypass if you wanted to. That's a good trail to go on, or just go through the tunnel. I'm just going through today. And that's where the bypass comes out after 1.5 miles. Looks like some heavier rain's coming in, so I'm gonna have to stop and put my poncho on. Put a couple things away. Wow, look at this view. This is the new bridge they finished last year. When the trail was closed, that's what they were working on here. A couple bridges. This is one of them. Very nice. Trees may shield me a good bit from the rain, we'll see. So far, there's only a few drops, but it's heavier out in the open. Hey. Just arrived at Confluence. Went through rain for the past 10 miles. I don't need anything, so I'm going to press on through. But here's what it looks like. Ohio Pile 10, 28 to Connellsville. I'm still on about half a battery on the bike. Thank goodness for shelters. I've been riding for the past probably 15 miles in the rain. I've had a poncho on, the one I got about 8 years ago. The bike's holding up well so far. The first time it's actually been through the rain. The e-bike. The only thing is a little bit of grit in the brake rotors now and then. That's about it. Other than that, handled good so far. Knock on wood. So once I get up here, I'll check the mileage again to see what marker this is. It's after Confluence. It's probably close to halfway between Confluence and Ohio Pile. Because it's only like 12 miles from Confluence to Ohio Pile. To the next area to rest at. That way is back towards Confluence. And that way to Ohio Pile and Connellsville, my destination. Feet are soaked. So far the battery management's been good. Let me turn it on here. Half a battery. Of course, when it gets about a half, it's like really 40%, because it's a lower voltage at below half. So it's probably like about 4/10. I'm not sure how much further I can get on the battery. So I've come at least 35 miles on half a charge so far. So the incline, the grade really makes a difference. It's been a climb, steady percent or so, or a little better in some places, between Markleton and here, which is about almost halfway to Ohio Pile. So once the rain slows down, I'll get back on it. I should probably eat a snack or something. It's all on the, it's a Cordura fabric on the outside. It's rubberized in the middle, on the inside. It's a little damp, but not wet. Things are still dry. Get a couple fruit bars, breakfast bars. I'm not quite ready for a peanut butter jelly sandwich, but I will here shortly. That's down in there. Bread, peanut butter, jelly. So that's next. Lunch break. Well, the rain's over finally. So I've got the poncho back off, rolled up, put away in one of the outer mesh pockets. I stopped at the pavilion shelter overhang to dry a couple things out, change my socks. Can never have too many socks, dry socks. And worked on my feet a little bit. Had a couple sharp places on my big toes still. So I took care of that. Don't let your feet go. Always carry clippers, and I carry this little pocket knife. I'll show you a picture of it. It is very sharp. It's almost like a razor blade in case you need to work on something. I had to use it to finish cutting this sharp piece of toenail that I couldn't access with the clippers. I know, TMI, but it's something that can really affect your feet. It'll make your feet sore and painful, could even lead to infection. So don't let it go. Carry those tools you need. It's almost like the rain didn't happen. While it was raining, I definitely needed a poncho. It didn't keep me 100% dry, but it had enough hood where I put my helmet on top of the hood, and the hood was long enough, big enough, that I could stretch it out and the water just dripped. But once in a while the rain would come down in on my glasses and stuff. So it's good to keep a dry microfiber towel. Somebody had asked me how I liked the handlebars, the Jones Loop H bar, 2.5-inch rise. I like them a lot. It's comfortable. It's right in line with my wrist. I'm not bending my wrist anymore. It's just natural there. And I became accustomed to turning the shifter on an angle like that. It's only second nature now. At first it was a little awkward, but I like it. A lot of setup. I've got an area here. I want to put a cup down in there. Feed bag for another cup or something. It's kind of in the way though when I straddle the bike or get back on the bike. But I do like the holder in the Yeti. I think that's a 24-ounce cup. So far it's kept ice throughout most of the day, and the past few days was hot. So I refill with ice when I can. Light on the E-battery, and there's the holder for the other lights. I've got like 3 or 4 Metro 1100 lights, and they do pretty well. I've only had to use one. I didn't use too much night riding other than going through Cumberland, and most of that was on the e-bike battery light. So about 20 more miles roughly to go, 22 miles. Will I make it on the rest of this battery? I doubt it. But it's gonna, I'll get a good use out of it though. Once I get to 72 marker, once I get to a hot pile for sure, that's 42 miles on the battery today. So about mile 69, it starts going back downhill, going west. It was a climb all the way from about 51 or whatever Markleton is to about 68 or 69. So what's that, about 18 mile climb? Not that it's a super climb, but it's just a gradual. But it is uphill if you're going west. Ice cream. Train station, information and meeting center. Turn back here. Lock my bike up, go inside here. I'll swap batteries and charge the one I've been using here in a minute. I was just inside this visitor center, and this has outlets, restrooms, water, information, and some air conditioning. Or at least a fan. So I'll spend here a little while, take care of some stuff. Okay, let's go back out here. Okay, I've already taken the battery out, wiped it down. Let's go in here. Hello? 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 The Tom Fawcett Trail. That's the Kentuck campground. I'm just going back here to check out where those trail side campsites are. First time I've been up this way to check out the actual trailside campsites. How far up? Oh, there they are. Just ahead. So the Kentuck campground is up the steep incline that we have heard about up there. But what they call the high bridge biking tent sites are here. There's 5 of them. And here's the sign they have about it. There's a bike station, a pump, and some tools. Outhouse. And the sites are down here. There's one. Site R2. R3. Right there. And sites 4 and 5 are right next to each other. They're not divided. They're all pretty much right on top of each other though, if they were full. So that's the sites. You have to go online and register for the sites, pay for it. A lot of work went into this. Oh yeah, there's the sign, R1. The first one we looked at was right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. you're going to come down here like this, watch out, there's nobody coming. It's a slight downhill like it was out of Meyersdale going towards Pittsburgh. Going west. That's good if you're going that direction like me. A little bit of decline makes a difference. For the e-bike users, just for curiosity, when I was coming out of Meyersdale today and I used the e-bike, I bumped it up into the highest assist and it ended up using about 10% of the charge right away just for that little, well, not little hill, that hill. I can't say exactly 10% because these are all individual bars. I always lose the very top one right away. It's like it overcharges the battery. This is a 48 volt system, and I think it charges it, tops it off at 52 volts, and it 52 or 54, and it loses that top charge pretty quick. When it gets to about half, it's actually below half because it's a lower voltage. So anyways, that was the e-bike tidbit for today again. I'm in the middle assist because I've got plenty of electric battery. And I know I don't need to go any farther than Connellsville, 17 miles from Pa. That is the remnant of the tree that stopped me back in 2017. I'll post a photo of it again. So about 8 years ago, almost. I got through it. It slowed me down though. That was one of my first bike trips. I went up to Connellsville, stayed at the old KOA, which is now I think the Blue Canoe or something. .75, so 14 miles to Connellsville. Old blowdowns there too. This section seems to be riddled with a lot of blowdowns. Can't see the river very well because of all the leaves on the trees. Dangerous intersection. Oh, easy, easy. Oh, 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 oh. Watch that one. Oh, you didn't see it. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, watch that intersection. Coming back on the tope or the trail is, ooh, it's like a V. 78, 10 miles, 11 miles to go. If you're not used to sitting on a bike seat, it'll work on you. But this is day 4, feeling it some. Hello. So far I've been lucky. No real mechanical issues, knock on wood. This is the part where you got a few extra inclines, short ones. A short one anyway. I gotta go back and get a picture of that. Whoa, Bessie. Let me push back here and take a picture of this. Nice view, one of the best views on the gap. Now there's 10 miles to go. Hey, there you are. How are you today? Okay, about 10 miles left. And I'm getting there. Bugs. Eating bugs here. How's your day been going? Oh, I meant to mention, the saddle noise is quieted, I think. It needed lubrication. I guess the rain was enough to wet it down anyway. I guess it was too dry. I haven't really heard it too much. But the pedal is still, the sprocket is still popping now and then. I gotta check the belt tension. That could be part of it. I've been keeping my eyes peeled for copperheads or rattlesnakes, or if I walk up to a rock to stand next to a view or something, I try to make sure there's none right there. It's probably rare that you ever would see one up here in the open, but I know people have. Trees are losing some of their leaves early, I think anyway. I can remember in 2017, my first trip on the Gap up to Connellsville. That's as far as I went, up to Koa. And I was tired. I hurt my knee actually, and the wife had, well, now my wife, fiance then, come pick me up. But if I had rested it, I think in a day or two I would have been fine. But that's 2017, this is now. And I feel pretty good. Of course, I've got an e-bike motor to help me out, let me rest when I want to rest, and keeps me going. If I want more workout, I'll turn it down and try to pedal against the motor resistance. I think these leaves are all from tulip trees. A lot of tall, slender tulip trees. I think that's what they are. Could it be that the cicadas are laying their eggs and the trees are dropping their leaves prematurely? Of course, then the eggs would hatch and they'd come down and burrow in the ground again and start the cycle again. I think 13 and 17 year cycles, depends on the breed. Sun's getting too low. Can't see very well to give you a good view. We'll see. So up here on the left is the connection to the Sheepskin Trail 87. Goes back there to Dunbar and eventually to the Montour Trail. It's completed in a few sections. There we are. A little bumpy, but it connects to the other side. That's the good thing. There we go. If you got any weight on there on your bike, take it easy over those lips. closer to freezing weather, be careful. There'll be ice on these bridges. Frost in the morning, it'll be slippery. No chance of that today. 90-degree weather. 80s anyway. It's been a fairly comfortable day though, I have to admit. I try to scan ahead and watch where there's any uneven surfaces. Oh, not here. That's too bad. Okay, back on the trail again. Getting closer. Just up here a bit. '88, getting very close now. We'll have to see if any of the shelters are occupied. Now on paved surface. Easy. Looks like they have utilities underneath here or something. Going a little bit too fast for patches. Slow down. It was going by 11, 12. Welcome to Connellsville. Look at the sign. Goes left right here. And straight ahead. Road ahead. What do we have here? Nope, nothing's coming. Watch your crossings. Okay, so I want straight ahead. coming. Pretty flowers. Well, I'm not doing comfort suites or comfort inn tonight. I'm going to do a cheap camp out. Comfort Inn. Lots of traffic, no traffic, no crossings. Looks like you go this way. Okay. The Yuff Park. Yuck Park. Yuff Park. Yuccoganny River or something. Some kind of event going on. Should be just up here. Okay, let's go up and cut across. Another bike tool station. I'm not sure if that works or not. I do have plenty of water. Said one person here, maybe. Yeah, one person for sure. I'll check the others out. Shit. There's a bike station. So down here are the Adirondack shelters. I'll catch one of those. And then further down, it should be Morton's. I'll check that out first. Well, heading to the Amtrak now, and I'll see how that goes. Be there in about a mile. Turn left on Crawford. Nothing's coming.
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto South Arch Street.
I'm trusting what this says is right. Could have taken that lane back there. Okay.
In a quarter mile, turn left. Your destination is on the left.
Arrived in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Carried my stuff on and off the train, all one trip. They're pulling the bike car up. Okay, took the elevator up to the second level. Ooh, nice air conditioning here. Nice. Just got off the train. Going across to the station now. Alright, so this is downtown Martinsburg. This is Apollo Theater. And I'm just heading home now. About 5 miles.